Whenever a new character is released in Brawl Stars, they're usually overpowered. Pro player Corey from Tribe had to say this about a certain brawler.
Yo, it's Corey, and I think the most broken brawler on release has to be Rosa. Rosa was just absolutely unkillable and took over the entire meta in Brawl Stars.
Our favorite plant-loving botanist. Now a pretty underwhelming brawler since this meta doesn't necessarily favor tanks. But back then, she was killing it, quite literally. Rosa had a shield for 80% damage reduction, which completely overran games. Never in Brawl Stars' history have we seen a tank so tanky. It was honestly so overwhelming, but at the same time, really dull. You can probably guess why too. An 80% shield for 6 seconds is insane, and if there's a match full of Rosas, you can see the problem. Her base attack is a series of 3 punches in a small radius. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you had her super, which caused her to stack her supers. So while Rosa is only taking 20% damage, you had another super up and ready. All you heard was the faint and whooms in the distance. If you were lucky enough or rich enough at the time to get her maxed out, her plant life star power healed her for 300 health a second in bushes. Combining this with her overpowered shield, this made her unstoppable. The whole Rose Apocalypse event caused 2 emergency nerfs to her. One to her shield, which went down to 70% from 80%, and her super duration to 4 seconds from 6. A well-needed nerf, and justly made her less of a beast than she originally was. Since then, she got a couple of nerfs, such as a 3-second super duration, which is half of what it originally was, less attack damage, and a decrease in healing for her plant life star power. After that though, it's just been some health buffs. Nowadays, you can easily take down a Rosa given the right scenario, considering all the tank killers in this meta, like Colette, Chester, or Otis. But at the same time, you can argue that she's a quote-unquote starter brawler, like Shelly, who helps teach the player in the early game. Hey wait, Blizz, who do you think was more broken on release?
The most broken brawler has to be Leon. Back in 2018 when Brawl Stars was going global, a Leon could have been in front of you invisible and you wouldn't be able to tell unless you randomly shot him. That's not even mentioning his main attack. Basically 1 or 2 shot nearly every brawler in the game. It's crazy to think this actually happened.
That's right, he was a powerhouse. Leon was the first legendary brawler to be released into the game, excluding the original few all the way back before global launch. The community was absolutely hyped because this was the first new brawler to be added, and especially because it was coming a week before global release. Until it happened. Leon was added into the game. But hey, before that, let's give Supercell some credit here. They didn't have the most experience with balancing brawlers at the time, so a little bit of brokenness is fine, right? No, I don't think so. As Blizz said, when Leon was invisible, no enemy could see him until he got hit or attacked, meaning he was the assassin in Brawl Stars, which let him shine in pretty much every game mode, but especially gem grab since he could take the enemy down with the gems as well as make a stealthy escape afterwards. And obviously he shines in Showdown and Bounty with his strong single target damage. No one could stand against him. Note at the time he dealt 500 damage per blade at close range and only required 8 hits to get his super. So once he was next to you, you knew you were dead and there was nothing you could do about it. This overwhelming power caused Supercell to emergency nerf him, making it so that he could be seen from 4 tiles away, which is where it stands now. That's all they did. No health nerfs, no damage nerfs, nothing. Which granted did help with his power, but was still nerfed a month later with a super duration nerf down to 8 seconds from 10 and minus 40 attack. Since then, his attack got a few buffs and his super duration is down to 6 seconds without the gear, almost half of what it was before. Nowadays, he's a pretty solid brawler since he's arguably a close and long range brawler. His use cases are slightly more circumstantial than others, but still a balanced pick. More recently, Chester overtook the Brawl Stars meta, and hey, why don't you explain why, Jam?
The most broken brawler in Brawl Stars right now, in my opinion, is gotta be Chester. Honestly, there's 3 big reasons for that. His super just has a lot of utility in it. It allows him to do a lot of different things throughout a match. He's got a stun, he's got a slow, he's got a heal. All that stuff really lets him control the field really well. The second big reason is gotta be just the stupid amount of damage he can output. He can output 9,000 damage in a 3-shot burst, which is obviously just a stupid amount of damage. Nobody can really do that other than him. And then on top of that, which is gonna be the third reason, is just how easy it is to land his shots. He just does a lot of damage and you don't really have to aim too much with him other than like the 1-shot projectile. All those 3 things combined make it super easy to just play Chester and dominate almost every time you play him.
Chester is an absolute monster. He's one of the 3 arguably all broken brawlers in the Candyland season. And as Jam said, Chester's DPS potential is incredibly high, upwards of 9,000 damage in 3 shots. Despite this, he didn't get any nerfs until a month later, where he got an attack decrease from each battle to 640 from 720 and his stunning super Super got a couple of changes to how it works. These changes are happening right now as I write this script, so I'm not too sure how they'll affect it. And hey, speaking of supers, Llama, why do you think supers make Chester so good?
Chester is by far the most broken brawler in the meta right now. He could be about 5 different brawlers in one. Need a shotgunner? Just call Chester. Need Lou with more damage? Just call Chester. Need Frank stun without annoying delay? You know it, Chester. Need Ems with Crow's annoying damage? There's Chester. He is good at both long range and close range. And the best thing about him is he is extremely fun, like honestly.
As Llama said, the utility Chester has is incredible. He can be whoever he wants to be. He's like, I don't know, Batman. Let me know who else you thought was super broken down below.